I thought this was a startling statistic. 97% of visitors that leave never return to a website. I also found a statistic that said that consumers are 70% more likely to convert with retargeting. And it's pretty consistently rated as one of the most underutilized marketing tactics because it can be a little bit intimidating and it's difficult to get started with if you haven't done the work to create segments and understand what kind of messaging those segments need at certain points of the journey. So if you've checked any social media app today, if you have streamed anything on Hulu, if you have shopped on Amazon, you have been retargeted, even if you aren't aware of it. And if you probably did something that will lead to you being retargeted later tonight. It's happening constantly, and you're giving off those signals to be retargeted at a later date. There are 4 main types of retargeting. And the main goal of each of these types is really just to press a persuasive button in your audience's brain multiple times. It relies on the segmentation, it relies on the engagement signals that are being collected, and it just puts your message back in front of those people and encourages them to take the next step. And after a while, that message will begin to stick. Very few people are impulsive enough to immediately convert at the fullest level the moment that they've become aware of something. Most people are going to proceed with caution. So your goal here is to continue pushing them towards that next step until they get to that end point. And in reality, once they've hit that end point, there's a whole extra conversion that you want to add and continue. You want them to stay a member. You want them to renew at the end of the year. You want them to attend things and be engaged. So you're kind of constantly retargeting people. So this is also critical in a landscape where it's easy to get distracted. There are millions of marketing messages being thrown at you daily. And how many times have you opened an email, not even a marketing email, just a regular email, forgotten to respond, and you've never looked back? So imagine, what happens with the marketing emails. If you open it, you probably didn't read the whole thing, and it's gone forever. Or you closed a tab while you were shopping and, never looked back. Every time an ad shows up, it's a reminder and a tiny bit more of consideration from your audience. So we'll focus on the first 3 of these. They're probably the most relevant to associations. Site retargeting is the most common type, and that's targeting individuals who have landed on your site. You can target them as a whole for just landing on the site. You can target them by the pages that they landed on or certain actions that they've taken on your site. Search retargeting targets individuals who have searched using specific keywords or phrases that are relevant to your business. And it looks a little bit different from traditional search marketing. And then email targeting, retargeting, which is targeting individuals based on actions that they have taken within your emails. I'm also going to embarrass myself here with some good examples that came straight out of things I have searched. So this is probably the easiest one to think about because you've all been site retargeted. And it's easiest to think of it in the context of traditional shopping. So as the holidays approach, anytime you search for something, you look at it once on Macy's and then it follows you across the entire internet. That is site retargeting. I looked at a Fossil watch online, and now Fossil is able to say this person has some level of interest in buying a Fossil watch. It's the simplest of, you landed on our website, come back. And it can be, as simple as saying somebody hit the homepage and now we can, do some very light brand awareness touches. But it gets even better when you add some layers of personalization and you really understand the segments that you're speaking to. So these are all versions of retargeting done by Spotify. And specifically, this is actually targeting people who are already Spotify members to upgrade their account to premium status. So these people have already converted. They're paying their monthly subscription fee, and this is just an additional conversion they're asking them to pay for premium. And the site retargeting can be effective on an unknown audience, but here these are specifically people that they already have contact information for. The messaging reflects the intent and the activities of these individual members based on what they've done on the Spotify site. So a visit to the student discount page might trigger ads reminding you of the pricing for that student discount and reminding you to upgrade. a visit to the family plan page is going to shoot out reminders to upgrade to Spotify Premium for family. Here is an even more personalized example and one for a very high level of intent. I'm a known user to DoorDash. I have an account, and I put biscuits in my DoorDash shopping cart, and now it wants me to know that specifically those biscuits are waiting for me in my shopping cart because I didn't check out. And there's a very high intent to purchase. Obviously, if I put them in my shopping cart, I'm considering buying them. It's very personalized. It has my name, it has the name of the restaurant that I abandoned, and it's giving me a very clear call to action to complete my order. So how can you use this? Shopping and retail examples are very easy to understand, but there, are some simple, clear intent signals based on the pages that people are interacting with on your site. So if someone is specifically looking at your, website and they click on the conference page and they keep looking at that conference page, you don't need to target them with become a member language. They're telling you without telling you that they're interested in coming to the conference. And then, on top of that, you start adding in layers of segmentation and personalization. So if it's a new member and they visit the conference page, but they didn't convert, you can retarget them with an ad that shows their new member discount price. If someone visits the page, multiple times across the span of a week and doesn't convert, you could retarget them with an ad that reminds them about the upcoming early bird pricing deadline. If they are looking at the conference page and they navigate to the digital event page, that's maybe a signal that you need to retarget them with information about your digital conference. There's a lot of, there's a lot you can do within the confines of the pages you already have on your site and understanding what people are trying to do, what that next step needs to be. So if you're looking to start doing retargeting, I would start with site retargeting. The next kind is similar to more awareness-based search ads that would show when you Google something and it shows on the results page. But this uses those search terms to trigger display ads that appear to you later. And these are two examples I found scrolling through my own Instagram yesterday. I did some Google searches earlier in the day looking for reviews on wireless earbuds. And then a couple hours later, I got an ad that said that, Bose's look good and sound better. It matched the intent of my search. The fact that I was looking for reviews told Bose that I was probably considering buying some premium wireless earbuds, and they found me. I also looked up specifically one of their competitors on the right side here, Farmstead app. I was looking up Whole Foods delivery in my neighborhood and got an ad that very specifically told me that I'm in their delivery zone. Without even having to click, I've never seen that brand before, but I already know now that they deliver groceries in my area. An example of how that might manifest for you would be, somebody maybe doesn't land on the website, but is Googling very specifically something that, to follow the conference example, maybe they're asking who's speaking at this conference this year. And that's a very clear level of awareness and intent that they're looking for information on that. You could serve them with an ad that shows the speaker lineup for your conference or highlights the keynote. The whole goal here is to interpret those high intent searches and give them an ad that brings them to your site. It doesn't have to be somebody that you know in your audience either. This can be somebody completely unknown. And next slide. Okay, email retargeting. We will talk about email nurturing in a moment because those are often confused with one another, but email retargeting is about taking the signals when somebody engages with an email that you sent them and using that to trigger retargeting outside of email. So anytime you open an email, anytime you click on an email, which button you click on an email, all of those things feed information about what you are interested in. It can tell, somebody how far you read down the email. It can tell them, where you were, which language was interesting to you. So there's a lot of data that you can pull out of that. But this, you can get sophisticated with. This is a simple version of email retargeting where, Sonos sent me this product launch about their new radio app and service. And just by opening it, I started seeing these ads that matched the look and feel of the email. So their assumption was, because I opened it, maybe I didn't even read it, but I opened it, I saw it long enough that now that I can connect those images together, it will spark something in my brain saying, oh yeah, I heard about that, and I'll be more likely to click on it. It's going to bring me to their site to show me more information. Something key to note here is that in order to do email retargeting, you do have to have an email to send to. So this works better on a known audience.